Howdy. News. A Finnish company makes history. This is the world's first wooden satellite. Plan a satellite to study the northern lights of Lapland. The observation picture shows what the world's first wooden satellite looks like in full swing. Alright. So that's 11 minutes old, this news. A satellite made of wood is planned to be the first in the world to study the Aurora Borealis in the sky of Lapland. The Aurora Borealis research uses a magnetometer which would be disturbed by the metallic structures of more typical satellites. The first wooden test satellite will be launched into the sky from New Zealand in the fall. With the test satellite, the durability of the plywood used in it is studied in harsh space conditions, says Jari Mäkinen, development manager of Arctic Astronautics Oy, which built the wooden satellite. If the plywood lasts in space, it can also be used in the Northern Lights satellites being built in Sodankylä. The wooden satellites, which require several, could be manufactured in our new space laboratory in Sodankylä, says Professor Eija Tanskanen, director of the Sodankylä Geophysics Observatory SGO. Tanskanen emphasizes that the wood project is in the planning stage and is awaiting the results of the New Zealand satellite launch. The observatory is part of the University of Oulu. The world's first wooden satellite is only slightly larger than a fist. The laboratory is already producing Lapland's first nanosatellite, called LabSat-1. It is scheduled to be completed at the end of the year. The construction of this satellite does not yet use wood, but more traditional metal. In addition, a new snapshot room with monitors has been completed at the observatory's premises in Sodankylä, where, according to Tanskanen, observation data from Northern Lights satellites will be monitored and received. Disturbances in the Earth's magnetic field associated with the Aurora Borealis. The magnetometer gives a hint of the appearance of the Northern Lights before the eye detects them. The magnetometer is one of the measuring devices launched with the satellite in addition to the cameras and the photometer. Unfortunately, a satellite made of metal causes disturbances to the operation of the magnetometer. Instead, the tree is completely interference-free. The tree, the wood maybe. There is no such thing as a non-interfering metal. In the Aurora Borealis area, at an altitude of about 100 kilometers, a lot of magnetic disturbance are observed. Large aurora eruptions, this sounds funny, cause disruptions to navigation, data transmission, and air traffic. Yes, and ancient tales quite likely talking about the aurora touching the ground. Well, anyway, with the help of the satellite, we can more closely monitor how those magnetic clouds behave and how they are linked to the sun's activity, Tanskanen says. The wooden satellite was presented, among other things, at the Kaivopuisto Aviation Show in 2021. Does not burn. Until now, the Aurora Borealis phenomena has been studied, among other things, with EESCAT scattering radars, which are located in Sodankylä, Kiruna, Tromsø, and Huippuvuoret. Spitsbergen, I think, in English. In addition, a new, more efficient Northern Lights radar has been completed for Enontekiö. Enontekiö is somehow translated in English uncle maker. But anyway, according to Tanskanen, no wood has been used in the LabSat 1 yet. Can a wooden satellite catch fire? You can't. Because there is no oxygen in space. Instead, on the sunny side, the plywood heats up to around 100 degrees. The surface of the plywood is treated with an ALD protective agent, familiar from electronics manufacturing, says McKinnon. In addition to the temperature and pressure gauge, two cameras travel with the wooden test satellite, one of which at the end of the long arm photographs the satellite itself and observes whether the plywood cracks in the intense heat. Yeah, just to remember, like Aurora Borealis, they can be like some 3,000 degrees hot, and the Steve phenomena up to 10,000 degrees, which is sufficient enough to melt any kind of metal. But it doesn't do anything to our wooden satellite. Maybe, but we will see. The wooden satellite, size 100 millimeters to 110 millimeters, gets its energy from 9 small solar cells. According to Mackin, the European Space Agency ESA is also participating in the research, which is interested in the satellite's new ecological material. Yeah, 10 centimeters. There are already about 6,000 satellites in space, about half of which are from Elon Musk. No, are in orbit without being used as scrap. Until now, Arctic astronautics, located in Porvoo, has mainly manufactured kits at training satellites intended for educational use. Yeah, I think I know. No, I know someone who was involved in that, I guess. Anyway. There are fully functional copies of CubeSats, an American origin type of nanosatellite for educational and hobby purposes, says Mackinnon. According to Mackinnon, the test satellite being launched now has come to cost around 100,000 euros. The plywood manufacturer UPM Kymmene has been involved in the project. Yeah, one of the biggest, probably, plywood suppliers of Finland. And they're mentioned for this project, 10 centimeters in size. A fist-sized satellite made out of plywood. But anyway, the only non-wooden exterior parts of the WoodSat are the aluminium corners used to spread the satellite and the metal camera selfie stick. Why not a bamboo stick? But anyway, according to Mackinnon, the price range for launching small satellites is 50 to 100,000 euros. Children. Yeah, that's a Google translation. That's rather funny to read. I will talk about this UPM stuff later because I think it's also interesting. But anyway, in addition to the wooden satellite, Lapland's first research satellite will be launched to an altitude of about 700 kilometers this year. The LabSat project is financed by the European Regional Development Fund, the Universities of Oulu and Lapland, and the University of Applied Sciences. The research is important because the magnetic storms associated with the northern lights are one of the risks of the information society. Yes, the Carrington event, as an example. According to Tanskanen, satellite expertise is concentrated in southern Finland. The team of experts newly hired in Sodankylä will take Lapland's space expertise to a new level. It involves experimenting with new materials used in the satellite, of which wood is the newest and most unique. The goal is to offer solutions that benefit Finland and the whole world. The new satellite utilizes SGO's more than 100 years of measurement know-how, says Tanskanen. I think this was it. Yeah, now let's scroll a bit up here somewhere where we had this UPM Kymmene. UPM Kymmene. 10. UPM 10, maybe. UPM.com. We create a future beyond fossils. As a frontrunner in forest industry, we provide renewable solutions for various end uses. We invest in sustainable growth and innovate for a future beyond fossils. Responsibility is at the core of everything we do. Yeah. If you're dealing with forests, it's a renewable thing by itself. This is UPM. We respond to the growth in consumer demand with recyclable products that are made of responsibly sourced renewable raw materials. We deliver responsible solutions and innovate for a future beyond fossils across 6 business areas: UPM Fibers, UPM Energy, UPM Reflatech, UPM Specialty Papers, UPM Communication Papers, and UPM Plywood. As the industry leader in responsibility, we are committed to the UN business ambition for 1.50 degree and the science-based targets to mitigate climate change. We employ 17,000 people worldwide, and our annual sales are approximately 11.7 billion. Our shares are listed on Nasdaq Helsinki Limited. Science-based climate change. Yeah, but that's not the thing I try to talk about. It's rather about this. It's a dragon, yes, a griffin. So they are watching the Aurora Borealis with this plywood box soon. And we have those tales about the dragons from the past. The Aurora Borealis touching the ground. The Aborigines from Australia associate Aurora Borealis, or as it's called in Australia, Aurora Australis, with a river of fire in the sky, death and destruction, the rainbow serpent. And here we are in Finland. There's a dragon related to the story about the satellite and the Aurora. But anyway, I leave it here. Thanks.